Hello, everyone. I am Joshua Banner here today to discuss the All-Star Game ballot, which was just released today. And today, in I believe an hour of us recording it, I'm here joined by several people. I'm joined by Dark, Kyle
Hello.
Eigner, and ECK. Oh, my bad. I'm not good at this hosting thing. This is why we need Nickens. But hello. So we will be looking today at the All-Star ballots of the American League and the National League, and we'll be discussing the snubs. And then at the very end, we'll be discussing our predictions for the All-Star game and the Home Run Derby. So, is there anything y'all want to say before we get started?
Nah, not really.
Okay.
I don't think so, man.
I'm not sure.
All right. Cool. Y'all can hear me fine, right? I just want to make sure
Yeah.
I don't cut.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Sweet.
All good.
All right. We can get started with the American League lineup. Our starters are Kyle Schultz, Nick Saylor, Drew Davis, and Ryan Crash. Reserves are Alec Warda, Jason Chadwick, and Jackson Pearson. Now, first things first, do you want to discuss anything about the starters? Is there anyone you think should have been a starter instead of the top four?
No, I think the starters were perfect.
Of the 7 guys that are there, the 4 guys who are starting definitely deserve it. Because I mean, most likely, because pretty sure it's probably going to be Cratch starting on the mound. Kyle's going to be the one managing the team. It looks good. You really don't want 3 Wildcats in the starting lineup.
I don't think Pearson should be in the starting lineup either.
No.
I think Crash, Drew, Saylor, and Kyle have been the 4 best players in the AL this year, and definitely deserve to be the starters.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I'm going with the starting lineup. I more have a little bit of complaints about the reserves.
Same.
Obviously, you have Alec Warda, who's obviously an MLW legend. He just eclipsed the 100 home run mark. I definitely think he deserves to make the game as a number 5. What I'm a bit confused about is the Jason Chadwick pick. I felt like there were several other people that could have made it, and especially due to the fact that pretty much Chadwick's hitting and pitching stats were not really great this year. He's only hitting 182 so far in 6 games. Struck out 11 times, has an OPS of 357 and a slugging of 591. It's not really what you'd expect out of him, especially since he is a power hitter and he won the home run derby last year. So, if you guys have any thoughts about like who else should have made that,
I mean, you seem to be forgetting that the Magic have to have someone in the All-Star game, and that's why Chadwick's there, because there's not really any other Magic players who really deserve it. And you also seem to be forgetting that the Magic haven't had their 3rd series posted yet. So, especially against the Gators, 2 guys pitching that Chadwick knows extremely well, his numbers could definitely improve.
yeah,
I
that's
was
for
thinking
sure.
about that. I was thinking, like, is Chadwick going to have a big series versus the Gators? Like, does this hint something about that? But, yeah, I agree with you guys. I don't think Chadwick should make it. I think there were 3 other guys that deserved it way more.
Yeah, there were, but the Magic have to be represented. It's the rule. There's nothing you can really do about it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes
And I
sense.
also don't think that Pearson should be there instead of the 3 other guys who we'll probably talk about later.
Yeah, let's just talk about it now, really. There are obviously going to be some people that are just going to miss the cut. So let's just talk about some of the snubs, some of the people that you think should have made it over Pearson or Chadwick or whoever else it may be.
All right. So I posted a stat comparison on my page between the guys who I think shouldn't have made it in Pearson and then the 3 next best guys who would be Andy Durand, Brennan Russell, and Sean Flynn. The only thing Pearson really has going for him are his power numbers. I mean, he's got the 5 homers, the 12 RBIs, the 1,000 slugging, 1375 OPS. But outside of that, his numbers when it comes to making just, solid contact or just he only has 3 walks on the year opposed to 11 strikeouts. He only has 1 hit that isn't a home run this year. He's hitting 286. Only a 375 on-base percentage, which is miles below Durand, Russell, and Flynn, who are all in the 500s. Pearson, I mean, yeah, he's exploded onto the scene. 5 home runs, 3 against the Mallards. another 2 against the Cobras, but I don't think he should make it based on those power numbers alone. I think that 7th spot should have gone to Brennan Russell. Because if you look at the stats, I mean, Pearson has the power going for him. Durand and Flynn are hitting well for contact, but don't have any homers, only 2 RBIs. But I think Brennan Russell should have definitely gotten that 7th spot. He's hitting .353 on the year. And again, we haven't even seen Russell's 3rd series yet. It'll be up on Friday against the D-backs. So as of the first 2, he's hitting .353 with 2 homers, 9 RBIs, 11 strikeouts to 9 walks, a .556 on-base percentage, .706 slugging, and a .1261 OPS, which is about 100 points below Pearson. But he's a lot more consistent. He's less streaky. He's hitting a lot better average-wise, has almost 200 points on Pearson in on-base percentage, and he's just the most consistent out of the 2 other guys you could say got snubbed in Durand and Flynn.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think Russell should have made it. But, and I know the whole Magic player, you have to have a Magic player. But if that was not, and I would have Russell over Pearson. But if this whole, if you didn't have to have one representative from each team, then I would have Brennan Russell over Jason Chadwick.
Yeah, I would too. But there's nothing you can do about Chatty being there.
But then Jackson Pearson too. I'd have him right behind Brendan Russell.
Yeah, I think Pearson is definitely better than Durand and Flynn, just because neither of those guys have hit a home run on the year.
Yeah, and their RBIs, they have 2 RBIs.
2 RBIs each. I mean, Flynn's and Durand are both getting on base incredibly, but Pearson definitely has the better numbers than those 2. But I think Russell's better than Pearson.
Yeah, and also Pearson's the more flashy player, so that's
definitely. Honestly, I feel like Russell and Pearson could have just been packaged together in the reserves. But obviously, as you guys have mentioned, the Magic definitely need a player in there. And unfortunately, I don't think there's really any other players that really stand out on the Magic other than Chadwick.
No, I mean, if Agner had been there for their first series, maybe, but...
No. But Jason Chadwick's, listen, I really like Chadwick. He had a great 2020. But, if I'm not saying he's had a bad year, I'd be lying because his ERA is sky high and his average is pretty low too. So,
well, with Chadwick, I think he's had his moments. What comes to mind first is that the Wildcats game 1, I believe, where he looked really good and
shut him down.
Yeah, exactly. But then the problem with Chadwick is he hasn't had a complete series yet, which may change later on. But it's always that game 2 so far that really, hits him hard, and really makes his stats look lopsided.
It sucks, and it sucks for Chadwick too because against the Wildcats he did great in game 1, and then of course game 2 was the Magic fan pain game, the 18-2 loss. So Chatty really had no momentum going into game 3, and I think he ended up giving up like 7 runs. Like his ERA is sitting at 5.34, which, I mean, if you're an ace or even a second arm, you really don't want to see that. And the problem with Chatty is 23 strikeouts in 4 games is all right, but he also has 17 walks. He throws absolute meat, which, I mean, I'm a Magic fan. I'm not ashamed to say that he's the worst ace in the league. Like, it's...
By far.
Yeah, and I honestly think what causes Chadwick to not be as opponent as last year is just the fact that there's a lack of a team around him, especially on the pitching side. Like,
Jackson is
you have multiple pitchers
horrible.
who have ERAs above 10 and whips above 7. Like,
obviously,
you need that second glue guy that's able to hold everything down and allow the offense to really stand out. If you don't have any solid pitching who can get outs consistently, you're definitely going to have a tough time.
Yeah, pitching is what wins. I mean, when a team has a good ace, you can win the World Series if you have a good pitcher.
Yeah, just look at the Eagles in 19. The only reason they make the World Series is because Dan gave up 2 earned runs the entire regular season and just shut them down in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And I I mean, everyone was thinking last year after Jackson burst onto the scene, especially after that Cobra series where he played really well. Everyone's like, oh my God, Jackson's going to be the number 2 for them. They're set. People failed to realize that even last year, Jackson had a wicked high ERA, above
I was
7.
telling everybody that in the off season.
His
I
ERA was
remember.
above 7.
Yeah.
Uh,
In the off
No, it's
season.
a 5.48.
548.
548.
2.6.
Yeah, he had 548, which was still not that good. Which, I mean, it's lower than Chadwick's is this year, but
And again, it was also in 7.2 innings, so we
Yeah.
really didn't get to see enough of Jackson to really have like a sound idea of what he's going to be like.
I will admit, I was like blinded by Liam Jackson, especially like that Cobra series. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's so good. Like, he's going to be great. Like, I totally failed to realize that he was a walk machine. And it sucks because Jackson, in my opinion, has the better arsenal than Chadwick. His pitches move a lot more, you know, the sharper movement, like as opposed to just throwing risers to pretty much down the middle the entire time. He has a much better arsenal. He just needs to learn to control it.
Yeah, definitely. In terms of command, I would say Chadwick is better in that regard. Obviously, Liam Jackson moves a lot more with his pitches, especially with the sort of screwball he has, and then also a slider and a riser pitch. But don't get me wrong, I feel like both of these pitchers have room for improvement. It's just a shame for Jackson because we haven't really seen a lot of him yet, and obviously, people are going to end up taking advantage of that experience.
Yeah, more about Liam. You point out that his ERA was really high. I was saying that the entire offseason. And Connor was telling me, no, he's going to be great. But I mean, look where he is now. He's not that good. The Magic are going to need to find a second arm.
Yeah, well, going back to the AL, so you mentioned Durant, we mentioned Flynn and Russell. Is there any other player you want to talk about that might have been a snubbed?
No, I don't think.
No, it was those 3 for the American League.
Not even Curdy Dark.
I mean, despite the 0 ERA, I mean, had we seen him more, then yeah. Even though I may or may not have voted for him like 30 times.
Yeah, I feel like in the American League, like pretty much all you're really basing off of in terms of play is their hitting in general, because we have 5 teams whose ERA is above 4. 7 of the 8 teams have a WHIP above 2. Like, obviously, the offense has really gotten good, but the pitching has really lagged behind. I don't know if it's because of the speed limit. I don't know if it's because the pitching mound was moved back slightly, or that there's just more talent that is able to recognize that movement early on. Unfortunately, we haven't seen enough from the Predators to really have an idea of whether or not they have 2 good arms or not behind Kretsch, but
yeah, this Diamondback series is going to be a huge test for McGlade, especially having to pitch against Heath. Like, we'll see how good he really is.
As a Preds fan, I know he has no shot against Heath. Like, I obviously I'm a Preds fan. I want them to win that game, but against Heath, no way.
Yeah, well, speaking of Heath, let's go on to the National League, where Heath is a starter along with Jimmy Norp, Trevor Bonham, and Daniel Schultz. The reserves are Chris Cheatham, Dallas Allen, and Tommy Coughlin. So, I mean, well, first off, so it seemed like you were a little upset about that Daniel Schultz.
Yes, because my thing is, it's confirmed. Kyle confirmed on Instagram. Zerlag is still managing that team, and I don't think Zerlag's gonna start Daniel on the mound. I think he's gonna go for Bonham or Norp. So if Dan's not starting on the mound, then why is he in the starting lineup with how poor his hitting's been this year? I think it should be Allen if we're just wanting the hitting in the starting lineup. I think it should be Allen or even Cheatham. Definitely not Dan unless he's starting on the mound, which I don't think Zerlag's going to do.
Yeah, I think Daniel Schultz, that's his best, because, like, you always see Daniel Schultz, he starts, like, the first few games. I think that's the way to go. You can get Bonham, and then Jimmy Norp can close it out. Yeah, so I mean, I think that's the way to go. Just start Daniel Schultz.
Yeah, I mean, if he's starting on the mound, that's one thing. But if he's not, then I don't think Dan should be in the starting lineup just because of how bad his hitting's been so far.
Who would you have instead of Schultz?
I would, assuming Bonham or Norp are starting, I would go Allen, probably.
Okay. Kyle, ECK, you have any thoughts on it?
Yeah, I 100% agree with Dark. And I actually think the starter should be Jimmy Norp. I know Mallards fans are going to come at me, but I think Jimmy Norp should be the starter for the NL. But yeah, I totally disagree with Daniel Schultz. He should not be a starter. And even if he even if he wasn't a pitcher, I mean, I just think Chris Cheatham's had a better season, just overall. I know at points, he's been roughed up, with his pitching, but there's a bunch of excuses you can make for that. And his hitting's been way better than Daniel's. And yeah,
in terms of pitching, I kind of disagree with that. I feel like, obviously, even though Daniel Schultz got roughed up in that first series against the D-backs, even though he's had his struggles from time to time, he's still miles ahead of Chris Cheatham in terms of pitching. Like, if you look at...
Yeah, but
we lost him. All right.
Oof.
But, I mean, okay, I kind of agree with him. I do think Schultz has been better overall. Of course, Schultz did have that first series, which was, probably the worst we've ever seen him with pitching. But what I'm really shocked about is Schultz. A lot of the votes we know came from before the series that was just posted. And before that series, rack up a hit. So a lot of his votes came from either his pitching or just his name recognition. He did look really good last series, but I'm surprised to see him over Cheatham or even Allen, just because they've done more, or they've been more consistent both offensively and defensively than Schultz.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's definitely a tough call, but Daniel's hitting has just been really bad, and his pitching. I mean, he's the hottest pitcher in the league right now.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Bonham's been really good. I know Cratch's been really good. I know Norb's been really good, but I think Daniel Schultz, he's only given up 1 run in the past 4 starts. That is elite. I can't say that about Norb. I can't say that about Bonham. I can't say that about Cratch.
Yeah, and if we didn't see that third series, I think it's harder to determine. But because we saw, and I mean, this is kind of like one thing I don't like about how the All-Star Game is like set up, where like we see some people 3 times and other people 2 times. Like we haven't seen the third series for the Magic, the Preds, the Diamondbacks, and the who is it? What team am I missing? The Gators, right?
Yeah, I think we have Preds, Diamondbacks, and Magic Gators left to see before the All-Star break comes out.
Yeah, so I mean, we kind of get the benefit of the doubt because we saw Schultz, who basically won the series by himself last series.
Yeah.
So it's a lot easier to see why he's a starter than if it was before this series. Do you guys have any thoughts on the reserves with Cheatham, Allen, and Coughlin?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, before when I saw it at first, I'm like, okay, that's good. But then when I looked deeper into it and I was talking with some other people on the MLW Discord, like you, Banner, and Porridge, I quickly realized that Tommy Coughlin should not be in there and Zach Whalen should be.
Yes, Zach Whalen for the All-Star Game. Absolutely.
Yeah. He almost made it last year, too. But
yeah, he was like first guy out last year, too. It was him or Ben Wilson.
Yeah.
Also, before we get into this, one thing I find kind of suspicious, Kyle has not released the vote totals when he did last year.
I kind of do too, but I think he did that for 2 reasons. 1, I think Gus was in the top 7, and 2, I don't think Chadwick was in the top 7. That's why.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Yeah,
because last year I think the top 7 guys were the guys who were gonna play,
but Drew at number 1 was really suspect.
How? I mean, Drew was having a good year.
Yeah, I mean, over a lot of other guys in the AL, I don't think Drew should have been one in voting.
Yeah, but hey, it's fan voting for a reason.
Yeah.
Like, but no, if you look at like the fan votes last year, those were the 7 guys who were gonna be in the All-Star game. But obviously, Cratch and Sailor couldn't be there, so they were replaced by
8 and 9.
Agner and was it Agner and Flynn?
Yep, Agner and Flynn.
Yeah. Well, I mean, going back, I just wanted to mention this for Zach Whalen, because I do feel he's kind of being underrated. Like when I first heard about Whalen, for the All-Star game, I was a little bit suspicious until I looked at his batting numbers,
He's
which has
hitting
been
400.
exactly, yeah. His OBP is 714. I
What
believe
was
he has the second.
OPS?
His second, but yeah, he has the second best OPS in the league. If you don't include Ben Wilson, who hasn't even played a full game yet. He's just been incredible, and compared to Tommy Coughlin, who doesn't even have an OPS of, he has an OPS of 860, which is, like I thought he did more just by watching him play, but especially that last series did not help his cause. He did not look that good. Of course, Coughlin had all those the errors this year. He looked putrid on the plate, and also his managing hasn't been that good. So I don't think he should. I'm pretty surprised to see that he's on here. Considering the fact that, well, like even with Chadwick, you can make the argument that the Magic needs someone, but the Mallards already have Trevor Bonham. So because Coughlin's season has just been errors on errors on errors, and his only redeemable act has been at the plate, I'm very surprised to see him still top 7.
See, I'm not surprised to see him there. I just don't think he should be there. That top 7 in the NL, I was pretty sure that was what it was going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Tommy Coughlin, he's a big name and stuff, and I think I had when I did my All-Star Game video, I said there was a big 6, and Tommy was included in that, but he fell out of that, and then Daniel went in that after the Mallards-Eagles series, which I think, Banner, you were saying that, the whole, how the All-Star Game voting is going on while videos are being dropped, so that really changes things. And then also, some teams have played 2 series, some teams have played 3 series. That's definitely something you have to think about.
Yeah, we haven't seen the Magic, Gators, Preds, or D-backs play their 3rd series. So that's when I was talking about Russell. His numbers could improve against the D-backs, or he could do worse. Same with Chadwick. He might actually deserve it after the Gators series. We haven't seen half the teams even play their 3rd series. We don't know the full extent of their statistics. And I think the problem is it's just like last year, but to a bigger extent. People were still voting Noah Dabrico last year for the All-Star Game, although he clearly did not deserve it.
Yeah.
Just because he was retiring and he's a big name. That's what they're doing with Tommy this year. Tommy does not deserve it. It should be Whalen. But
he did deserve it before the video dropped.
Hey, let me speak. Let me speak, child. Okay. But the problem is, it's basically you can't have an All-Star Game without Tommy Coughlin, without any member of the big 3, him, Kyle, and Dan. You just can't do it. It would be what's going on? Why is Tommy not there? Even if he doesn't deserve it, they still have to get him in because I don't think they can do an All-Star Game without Tommy. And the fans wouldn't be happy with it either.
Yeah, and by the looks of it, it looks like he was the last person in the NL to be voted in. So I really do think he's only in there because of name recognition. If his name was
again,
Jeff,
I want to see the votes.
Exactly. Show us. Never mind. I'm not gonna make that joke. But yeah. So are there any other people you think got snubbed in the NL? I mean, it looks like it wasn't as competitive. AL, but I'd like to hear what you think.
The man with the 1,000 on base percentage?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, of course.
I don't know how he's not in there.
Be easy.
Free BDZ till it's
Let's hope he's in
backwards,
the home
Let's
run
hope
derby.
he's in the home run derby. Speaking of home run derby.
Yeah, speaking of which, look at
Ooh.
that segue. All right. Yeah, the home run derby. So I saw they had the video. I couldn't really get like exactly who's gonna participate, but I mean it's gonna be all the big names, you know. So
It's gonna be a bunch of people, just like
Ex-
last year when they were like 20 something.
exactly. So I'd love to hear your thoughts about who you think's gonna win, who you think's gonna do well.
Okay.
Let's hear it.
So, assuming they do what they did last year, where they cut it down to 4, and then they cut it down to 2, my final 4 is Nick Saylor, Jason Chadwick, a sleeper pick, Stephen McGlade,
Oh,
Ooh.
and Kyle Schultz.
dang. Okay.
And I mean, I could go with the popular pick that everyone in the Discord is saying and have Nick Saylor winning. But I gotta show a little faith, and I think my boy Jay Chatty's gonna go back to back in the home run derby,
Ooh.
Ooh,
win for the 2nd year in a row.
I can
But like,
see.
there are a lot of sleepers. I think a sleeper could be McGlade, like I said.
Gus.
I think, honestly, yeah, like not even saying it as a mean. Gus is a big guy. He's got pop. Rudy could do well.
No.
No?
Maybe.
And then I also think Caden Irwin could do well if he participates.
If he can hit.
Yeah, and Davenport if he's there. But like, I don't know. I think it'll be a final 4 of Chadwick, Saylor, McGlade, and Kyle. I think it'll be an epic match between Saylor and Chadwick, and I think Chadwick's gonna win it.
All right. Should I say mine?
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
go
for
ahead.
it.
All right. So my final 4, just like Dark, I got Sailor. I also got Dan because he's always in the final 4.
Yeah.
He's like perfect for home run derbies. I would put Pearson in, but his swing is a little too much. Like his stroke is too big, and
He goes daddy hacks only.
yeah, and that doesn't do well in home run derbies. Maybe I'm just thinking too much for the MLB because in MLW they're shorter home run fences.
Yeah.
And then I would also go with Chadwick. And then my last one, it's a little bit of a sleeper pick, but I'm actually going to go with Cratch. He actually did well in 2019. He has a big swing, he's just like,
Yeah,
Chadwick.
I think he could have done well in 2020 if he could have been there. And that's the thing with Saylor. We haven't seen him in a home run derby yet.
Yeah.
That scares me.
And my finals, I think it's going to be Dan and Saylor. And just like he does every year, I have Dan losing to Saylor.
Yeah. See, the problem with Dan is, like, I feel bad for the guy because, someone has to pitch.
Yeah.
But he gets so tired out and, like, probably so sore for throwing hundreds of pitches in the home run derby. Like, he's never going to win one.
But then he goes all the way to the finals. It's like...
Yeah, but, like, he gets so sore. And, like, he could easily sabotage the other people. But, like, he could easily...
He's a man of his word.
I think they should switch pitchers, like, for every batter.
Yeah, like, I think, I'm sure I would say Tommy any other year, but I don't trust Tom to do it. Like, Dan should throw some. I think Kyle should throw some. I mean, oh, wait, no, he'll be behind the camera. No, I mean, Dan should throw some. I'm sure Norp could. Like, Jorgie could. They could have a few guys. Yeah, Cratched. They could have a few guys. All right, and here's one more thing. Alec Warda, over or under 2 home runs this year?
Under.
Under? Are we saying under 2? We think he's gonna fail again in the derby.
Oh my God.
0 home runs. That's my prediction.
0.
Do we all agree if there's one person that we really want to see win the home run derby other than Gus or Davenport, it's Warda. I mean,
Yeah, he deserves it.
bro, I want him to win it. You know what? Over.
He's gonna hit
okay.
3.
You
He's
heard
gonna
it
hit
here.
3. Yeah, right. I'm hoping there's gonna be a lot of participants. Obviously, you're at the All-Star Game. It's gonna be all the Trenton guys are gonna be there, all the Livonia guys. Like, you're gonna have Heath in the derby. Heath. Oh my God, I totally forgot about Heath. Heath could do good. You're gonna have Shima there. You're obviously gonna have Jackson, Chadwick, Jorgie, Chris, Curdy. Bro, if Curdy's in the home run derby, that'll just make my day. Honestly. Like, you're obviously, there's going to be a bunch of people. I mean, if Joey Flynn could do it last year, then I'm sure they'll let a bunch of people do it this year. It'll be very entertaining.
Yeah, if Joey Flynn can do it last year, anybody can do it. I mean, let's be honest.
Exactly.
Even
Exactly.
I mean, Brandon Davenport should do it. He has a 1,000 on base percentage.
Yeah, and I've literally been saying, dude, you need to go and do it. Like, that'd be incredible.
If he wins, that means Coughlin should just retire.
Yeah.
No, he's gonna win, and then Tommy's not gonna play him, and everyone's just gonna hate Tom.
That would be like
Exactly.
such a bad move and such a bad look for Tommy.
Bro,
I mean, he's done bad enough.
if Davenport wins, everyone just has to spam ping Tommy in the Discord and just be like,
man.
play him.
Hasn't he been through enough recently?
No.
He's
not,
injured.
It's not enough.
Every time he goes on the internet, he gets clowned.
It's never enough.
They literally play clown music when he's playing.
Yeah. Hey, Kyle's a troll when it comes to editing. This has been known.
Exactly.
Okay.
One almost ejection.
He's
Yeah.
only in here for his pitching. Lol. Like
Oh my
we know he is a clown when it comes to editing. at this
Yeah, I
point.
like that about him though. He's not like
Yeah.
one of those strict editors like they're probably going to be in other sports. And instead, he'll put like like this is the coolest thing you may see in MLW.
Yeah.
Or he says like, or he puts at the end of the video like, for the I think it was the NLDS because it was a sweep. They just said this is for like time filler.
The filler. Yeah.
Oh, I love
The
that.
filler time. Yeah, no, last year it was 18 people in the Derby, and I'm sure we could see more because we're going to have the rookies, and I'm sure all those guys from last year are going to take part in it too, with the exception of like Brendan Schultz and maybe Wilson.
Also,
So, yeah.
I guarantee one thing.
What?
Drew hits the death can.
Yup.
Twice.
Twice, okay.
I'd love to see that.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. The Derby, I'm actually more excited for the Derby than the All-Star Game, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Same.
Well, speaking of the All-Star Game, I'd love to, I kind of skipped over this to go right to the home run derby, but I'd love to hear your thoughts. Who do you think's
Yo,
gonna
they
win?
have actual jerseys.
your
Yo,
predictions?
no, hold on. MLW just posted on their story. They have actual jerseys. For
Yeah,
the
I heard
All-Star
about
game.
that. Yeah, Connor told me about that the other day.
Oh my-
Look
Hold
on their
I have to take a
story.
look at
It's
this.
Crash, Norp, and Sailor. Also, Norp's hair looks like it's gone.
Oh
What?
my! Whoa!
Bro.
Don't tell me.
Whoa,
Look at Norp's hair.
fire.
He better have dreadlocks.
It might be tied back or something, but yeah, it is not
Oh my
down.
gosh.
Oh,
Those
yeah,
are
it looks like
those
it's
are
just
like my
tied up.
three. Wait, those are like my three favorite players: Crash, Norp, and Sailor.
Really? Sailor?
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
Crash
I
is
love
cool.
Sailor.
Crash is chill.
Dark, you need to chill on Sailor. Sailor's the GOAT.
He is.
Yeah, no, I like those jerseys though.
Oh my gosh, those are sick.
Yeah.
Bro, they better. Dude, please don't make me send more money on you, MLW. Jesus, I've already bought 5 jerseys in like the past 2 weeks. Please no.
They need to
One-
just send
one
some to you
problem-
for free.
One problem I have with these
You think they
jerseys
would?
is I think that the National League should be blue and the AL should
Yeah.
be
That's what I was
Yeah.
thinking. I was thinking that's a bit weird that they did it that way.
Yeah, especially because the navy blue would be like the Gators colors too. Just because like they won it, that would be
And Eagles.
that makes so much sense. Well, I mean, the Gators are the ones who like won it, so they'd be like
Yeah.
representing. Yeah, no,
But then also
they're
the
cool
Eagles
though.
from the NL.
I like the Blue Jays font on the number as well.
Yeah, I like the numbering. Yeah. Well, anyways, do you guys have any thoughts on like who's gonna win? Who you think's gonna win MVP?
Yep.
I think this is finally the year that the National League wins an All-Star game.
I think so too.
I think this is a bold prediction at this point because I think the AL has won 5 in a row. But I think this is the year that NL finally takes it. And I am going to go kind of bold. I'm saying Jonah Heath for All-Star Game MVP.
Let's go.
Oh my-
Yep.
Yo, you read my mind. I was gonna say that too.
Jonah Heath, Father Jonah for MVP.
Yeah, I'll go different. I think the National League is gonna win, but Daniel Schultz is on a bit of a hot streak right now. I think he's gonna come up with
Yeah,
the
I think
MVP.
Dan's going to like come in for the save if anything. No, if he doesn't get benched. I don't know because he's starting. So like I think because it's going to be like a 2-inning max, 5-inning game. So you have Norp start it.
I think Schultz gonna get a home run.
No, I think Bonham
You know what? 2 home runs.
Okay, no, I think Bonham should start it because I think Norp should be in the lineup the whole time. So Norp can come in for the save if the NL's winning. Norp should be the one saving it. Bonham should start. Dan in the middle. I think the NL finally has it. And I think they can hit off. Because who's the third pitcher Will it be Drew?
Kyle. No.
Kyle, Crash, and Drew, or will they go
Or
Chadwick?
Chadwick, yeah.
No, not
Not
no,
Chadwick. It'll be Kyle. It'll be Kyle,
Crash,
Crash, and Drew. And I don't trust Drew Davis pitching in an All-Star game.
Yeah, but also Drew Davis loves hitting in those All-Star games. He's the All-Star game MVP. Like, just if you go through like all the years.
Yeah, but I mean, against
every All-Star game.
Against Jimmy, Bonham, and Schultz. Assuming Schultz is the one pitching, I don't know. They might go with Heath or Chris. I don't know. Zerlag, unpredictable man right there.
They'll go
Well,
with
ECK, who
Chris.
do you think's gonna win?
That's really tough because the AL in
The
my
Preds
opinion,
fan wants to pick the AL.
that's the more fun team because you have all the home run hitters on that side. Well, I know Norp is, but you have all the other home run hitters beside Norp in the AL side with Pearson, Chadwick, Saylor, Drew,
even Cratch, because people seem to forget. People seem to forget
have a ton of power.
People seem to forget Cratch led the league in home runs last year.
Well, yeah, but three of them were a couple of them were off non-pitchers, but yeah. Anyway, I really want to go with the AL here, but I think I'm gonna go with you guys too. I'm gonna go with the NL. I don't know. I think it's gonna be a lower scoring game this year. I think Crash versus Bonham is gonna be the starting matchup. They're probably gonna shut it down, and then I think it's gonna be probably Norp versus Kyle, and then I think maybe the AL takes the lead, and then Drew blows it in the fifth.
That would be the perfect ending. Yeah, and that's the thing with the NL. Literally, you have 6 guys who could pitch on that team. They have so many options.
Technically 7. I mean,
I don't trust Tommy.
Yeah.
We are not trusting Tommy.
Calgary has been
all 7 guys
demoted.
can pitch.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I mean, you have Pearson, who we haven't seen. We have, Saylor, who's all right, but I think he'd get mashed off by Norp and Heath. Like, all of them would just destroy him.
That's interesting. What if Saylor pitched instead of Drew? Because he's pitched better than
Nah,
Drew.
he's not gonna. Well, I mean, it's Kyle's own teammate, so he might, but...
Yeah.
Well, Kyle's the one managing.
He's pitched better than him, but Drew Davis has also been, the number one pitcher.
I don't trust Saylor not getting raked off by Norp. That's all I'm saying. It's pretty much who can pitch to Norp the best.
Yeah, and Saylor, I mean, like, he didn't have a good first game. He did have a good second and third, but I mean,
I don't understand how the Cobras weren't mashing off him. Like,
yeah,
oh my God.
I remember you were texting like, Saylor's throwing meat. How are they not hitting him?
True, bro. If Andy was there, all right.
Yeah. All right. So, is there anything else you want to mention before we end the video? I believe in 20 minutes real time, the MLW should be going live.
Will they? I don't know.
I think
they don't.
Did they say 4 p.m. today?
They do, but I don't think they live the All-Star game.
Because
they did a live for the Home Run Derby.
What about
last year.
Yeah, well, they might. I think they're.
And the Derby's after, so I don't know. It says.
Oh, I don't know.
30 minutes till game time, and that was 7 minutes ago. So I mean, they might do a live. I don't know, but I don't think they have in prior years.
It just sounded like they did.
They would for the Home Run Derby. Yeah, based on the caption, you'd think they would, but
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well, I mean, this is going to be for my final statement. I think this is going to be a very entertaining All-Star game. Hopefully, there's a lot of home runs and some strikeouts and stuff. And I think the Home Run Derby is going to be even better.
Mm-hmm.
So that's definitely going to be cool too. I'm going to be rooting for Saylor and Crash, and no, I'm going to be rooting for Warda.
I'm looking forward to the Warda cam.
Yeah, I'll rock the Warda jersey.
Mm-hmm. I'll rock the Crash jersey that day.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna have like 6 options to choose from by the time that video drops, so I don't know.
I only have 2, Saylor and Crash.
Yeah, I have 5, and then I just ordered the Agner jersey as well. So I'm literally wearing one right now. I have my Zerlag jersey on. So.
My goodness.
Oh, we didn't talk about him as a possible snub. I mean.
No, he's not up there.
Oh, Agner.
No, Zerlag.
Oh, Zerlag? No. I mean, yeah, you can look at like, advanced analytics.
Him versus Waylon. Yeah. Waylon would blow him out.
Yeah, but also him versus Tom. I mean, that's sort of comparable.
But Waylon's also better than Tom, so you can't really.
yeah. Like
I know. All
I was
right.
talking about this with Banner earlier. Like a snub, like there could also be guys that like miss the cut versus like a snub. So like someone
Yeah.
like Waylon is like a guy that like missed the cut and not really a snub like Waylon is.
Waylon isn't a snub like Waylon is. Okay. Yeah. Makes
Well,
sense.
no, I mean, okay. Your life isn't a snub like Waylon is.
Yeah. I mean, okay. I just want to add 3 things to end off this video. Number 1, give Gus an at-bat in the All-Star game because we all know he was like first place in the voting. Secondly, Davenport for Home Run Derby, freebie Daisy till it's backwards. Third, Discord, link in the description. Join up.
All right, that's a perfect way to end it. I don't know what to add to that. All right, so yeah, you heard the man. Subscribe to our channel. I saw MLW Network 1 subscriber away from 150.
Well, let's
So
go.
yeah, so I know you want to be the special one. You know what to do. Follow our Discord, and yeah, let us know what you think in the comments. Yeah, this is Dark, ECK, Josh Banner, and Kyle Wagner, who is no longer with us, unfortunately. Rest in peace. Goodbye.